Okay, and welcome guys to another tutorial. Now, today is a tutorial on timers. Time-based events that will occur in your game at a random, like every 5 seconds or every 10 seconds and things. And traditionally, the way that we would do it is we would go time dot dot time, and then we'd have 3 or 4 variables for it, and we'd slap some other stuff in there, and then we would compare the floats at a fixed update or whatever you're using for an update function. Or we would do invoke repeating and have it all the time on there. But the problem with invoke repeating is then you have to manage when to turn it off, when to turn it on, and things like that. And it gets messy after a while. So my goal in this video is to show you how to use something a little bit different, because I never see a video on it and it doesn't really get explained to my satisfaction. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do this firing thing right here. Okay? And, well, actually, okay. I'm going to take this and then have this off. Okay? Do. And we get this debug message. Level was loaded. We checking levels, blah, blah, blah. Well, if I push down A, I get another thing. Time is over, silly guy. And it continues to do it every second, like 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And this could be like a machine gun or something, right? You know, you're like, oh, you're probably using the same thing as you're doing in your firing rate and that. No, actually, I'm doing it completely different. Now, if I let go of A, it shuts off, you know, just as you would expect and everything else. Well, the thing about it is, okay, and then, maybe I want some different behavior. So we're going to turn this off, okay, clear this off, and we're going to just put this bull firing on all the time. And this could be a gun, your input or whatever, and then it does the same thing, right? Could you imagine this could be money in your RTS game or something like that? It's generating that event like over and over and over again. Okay? So you're probably like, well, it's probably just like any other time. It is just generated, through time.time. The answer is no, it is not. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go look at the code for this. And this is using a structure that's not well done. Well, not well done, but it is very simple, and it's using the namespaces that's provided to us through our programming. Now, this can be used for other types of programming, not just Unity. Anything that does C#, so the people from CryEngine and things like that could use it. But what it is we are using what's called using system.timers. Okay? And this is a namespace dedicated for timers. Okay? What timers are is just a class, like a float or whatnot. It's a class. Okay? Recurring events on your application. So it can be used for a lot of different other applications, even inside of Unity's engine itself. So what I've done is I made a variable rtimer, okay, and rtimer is equal to new system.timers.timers, and we have to pass a interval time. An interval time is just the time that we want it to happen, okay? Now our timer is expecting an ellipsoid event handler. A timer occurs when the interval elapses, which is pretty much when it's over. It does this, which pretty much is our I consider this a delegate. You know, it's an event handler, and you're going to put in a function right here, which our timed event is simple. It is our debug message right here. Now you have to put a source, an object source, which is just an ob, a generic, and then you have to do the ellipsoid event arguments, and I just called it event. Okay. This is the function that you will have happen every single time it goes down, and it's like bye bye, things like that. It happens. Hey, you can add money, you can use it for shooting guns, you can use all this other stuff, because this start method is only making our timer, and doing all its subscribing and things like that. So start only happens once. So this new stuff only happens once for your object, okay? But how we turn it off and on is easy. Our timer enable equals true or false. You just pass true or false into it. And then the event that you had it subscribed to will happen. Now you can turn the repeating off, so it only happens one time. And it's right here. Repeating. You can also have it where it auto repeats true, which I just had it crossed off because you don't actually need it. But oh, and here's another thing. When you use this on disabled, when the object gets disabled or gets destroyed or anything like that, we have to have our timer.close. We are just closing the timer, letting it go, do its thing, and release the resources that's used for the timer itself. Okay. So that's how we release the resources and stuff. If you don't have this in here, then it'll keep spamming after you've exited the program. It won't stop. Okay. You won't technically destroy it or anything like that. It'll still be there. So, be careful you don't mess with it. Just make sure you disable it when you're doing other stuff, or you can have major problems with it still firing, because even if you exit out of Unity, it will continue to fire, okay, when you exit out of play mode. So you'll be like, what the heck? So be careful of that, because it runs on its own instance, okay? So, but this is how you can do this with true or false statements and just have it keep firing. Not a bad thing. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like it. I'll probably integrate it into my weapon system myself. But it's easy way. I'm thinking this could be easy for bleed attacks. You hit somebody with a bleed attack, and you just attach this to them and turn it to true, and they just sit there and keep bleeding. You're just bleeding out or whatnot. Or let's say you have a food thing in your game where you're always wanting food. Okay, like your hunger or water or thirst or anything that deals with time. You can have one of these sitting there going, hey, you need food after so much time. Okay, just keep ticking it away. Tick, 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 tick. You don't have to do this in an update or nothing like that. It's just going to run on its own instance. And, use the delegate that it's passed, the event handler. The event handler will do it all for you. So, you only have to dedicate the resources one time during your start. And, his hunger could go down every minute, every second, or however you've designed your game. And then, yeah, that's all you need to do to get this timer to work. But it's most important that you put this on disable functionality. You're going to need that. So, and of course, you could always, if you wanted to, technically, do an invoking statement, auto. But invoking statements are kind of messy because of you repeat invoke, okay, in a certain time, yes, and everything. But the problem with the invoke repeating is sometimes you gotta say, hey, guess what? I don't want this to happen anymore. And you just can't enable and disable it because an invoking statement, guess what? Once you invoke it, you have to have a script tell it to stop, okay? Which is pretty much the same thing as we do, but once you do that, and then you go to invoke it again, it allocates more memory. See, and that's the problem with that a little bit. I want it to only allocate memory on an instance of the timer one time. Like, just basically one time, alright? No biggie, no nothing, no nothing, you know? That's just the way it is. And, you know, that's how I like it. You know, if we wanted to add XP or something, it could be really nice. Timers are very handy. And that's all I wanted because, you know, the timer class is pretty self-explanatory. And I put a bool in case our timers equals firing. If this is enabled during start, like firing equals true, it'll constantly run this until you come up to a statement where, hey, guess what? Turn this off. So there you go. And that's how I deal with the timing issues and stuff. I'll probably have more videos. I'll probably integrate it into my shooting game since I've got crafting and all kinds of other stuff. So I'm betting that it comes up a lot more. You know, just saying. And then I'll have some delegate stuff too. So if you don't get it, I'll probably have more examples later. But I thought a video would be good for it because of I had a request from a subscriber once for a timer based thing. He wanted it to happen every so many seconds, and I believe this one will work better for him than the one I had before because the other one was kind of messy and stuff. So I guess it all depends on your game design. But I just thought I would you know, give you guys some more code and, you know, explain timers a little bit more or introduce you into it so that you can use them because they are there. But yeah, if you like this video and you think timers are cool and all that stuff, click that like button, hit the like button, poke the screen hard with the like button, or share, subscribe, you know, all that good stuff. So take care, guys, and I appreciate your support and, you know, comments and all that stuff. So thank you very much and have a nice day, and I will see if I can't actually, believe it or not, I'm probably going to do a stream after this. So if you're there, you're there. If not, then sorry about your luck. You're going to miss out. But thank you very much. Peace.